Well, here's a click. Oh my God. Here's a quick blip about the money. I call it Gee, I don't know. The Federal Reserve notes were issued in that we're using were issued in 1963 up until present day 2025 are worthless pieces of paper. I asked the public or people, how come you're using worthless pieces of paper, or we're using worthless pieces of paper? Just as the continental dollar is a worthless piece of paper back in 1975 to, or 1775 to 1779. People generally say, gee, I don't know. Why don't they know? Why don't I know? Why didn't I know? Why doesn't anybody know? Why doesn't your lawyer, your CPA, your accountant, your bookkeeper, your politician? They don't know. Everybody says, gee, I don't know. The Federal Reserve notes that were issued from 34 to 61 didn't last forever. The Federal Reserve notes that were issued from 1913 to 33 didn't last forever. The gold certificates that were circulating from 1865 to 1933 didn't last forever. The certificates, silver certificates that were issued from 1787 to 1965 didn't last forever. The state banknotes that were issued from the 1700s to 1865 didn't last forever. So what's the deal? Why isn't the answer, gee, I don't know? So I'm going to ask you, makes you think the worthless Federal Reserve notes that were issued in 1963 to today are going to last forever? They've been going on since circulating since 1963 to 2025. Why is there a perpetual answer from everybody I ask, gee, I don't know? I mean, we're all dependent upon something, but we don't know how it came into circulation, and we don't know why it's still worthless, and we don't know how long it's going to last. If that is the craziest thing I've ever heard, you don't know anything about money that you're using, and all you know is you're using it, and what I don't know what to tell you. The prices have doubled over the last 5 years, and the prices of everything have doubled. So what are you going to do about it? They're going to continue to go up, and you don't know why. You don't know how or why or what to do about it. You got these politics. What are you? How are you going to stop this inflation? You don't know. How are you going to stop? You voted in a politician there, and they don't know anything about the money any more than you do, or the bookkeeper, or the CPA. Why doesn't most people not know anything about money? I've never seen anything like this in my lifetime. I'm glad I discovered Merrill Jenkins and his book, Money, the Greatest Hoax on Earth. You know, you don't control the government because you don't create the money, you don't create the wealth, and that's supposed to be used as money. And you don't even know that this, and the politicians don't know anything. They don't know anything about the subject money, and they don't know how it's created, how it works, and that's what's going on now. Things are upside down and backwards, and you're sitting there staring at your computers thinking, gee, I don't know. What's interesting is some of the people on YouTube that have their YouTube channels, and there's like 500,000 viewers or subscribers. They're called psychics and tarot card readers, intuitives. They and claim what they know what they're talking about. Or some of them claim they're talking to beings on another planet or are remote viewers. I've asked them, what's the money of the account in the United States? What's the law that decides the money of the account in the United States? How long will the Federal Reserve notes last? The answer from them all is, I don't know, or they ignore me. Isn't that interesting? All these intuitive people, their answer is, gee, I don't know. The hucksters on YouTube pushing how to make more money on YouTube don't even know. They don't know either. They just say, invest with me and I'll set you free. Like that song in the 60s, The Ball of Confusion by the Temptations. Go look it up, Ball of Confusion by the Temptations. How long will the current Federal Reserve note last in circulation in the United States as a medium of exchange since they were issued in 63? Nobody knew it. It came out and circulated. Kennedy was shot, along came the Beatles, and everybody got distracted. The hippies took drugs, the Vietnam War was protested, and nobody knew what the heck was going on. So we're using worthless money, and nobody knows what's going on. Why is it that everybody talk money is so important they don't even know what to do about it? They don't know how it comes into existence or it changes over time. Isn't that amazing? They don't know the legal tender laws, and they don't know that each version of the money I've posted here and on my other videos that doesn't last forever. So the answer to people I keep getting is, gee, I don't know. Isn't that amazing? If you had children, you should be ashamed of yourself. I don't know anything about this subject, money, but I raise my kids to be totally dependent upon something called money, and I can't explain it to them all. All I can say is, gee, I don't know. Have a good day, because I don't know.